I want to give you what Clarence Thomas said yesterday, and Clarence Thomas is under attack, but what's new? He wrote a forceful dissent from the Supreme Court's decision to refuse hearing a Republican challenge of a Pennsylvania state court decision allowing ballots that were received up to 3 days after the election to be counted in November's election. Now, I want you to understand, none of this is going to change the outcome. If they found all of a sudden that all of the states had falsified stuff, there is nothing in the Constitution that corrects that. So anything that you find now is to make sure you fix it for the next election. This is the time where we don't have to have conspiracy theories. We don't have to say, because it won't change anything. It can't. It will only fix it so we believe in the system the next time. Now, this is exactly what Clarence Thomas said. One wonders what the court waits for. We failed to settle this dispute before the election and thus provide clear rules. Now we again fail to provide clear rules for the future elections. The decision to leave election law hidden beneath a shroud of doubt is baffling. By doing nothing, we invite further confusion and erosion of voter confidence. Our fellow citizens deserve better and expect more of us. I respectfully dissent. Now, what's the problem with that? Is he a conspiracy theorist? Is he saying Donald Trump won? No, he's saying people don't trust the system. What are we waiting for? Because we did nothing before, it's made it worse. Now we're doing it again. That's not Donald Trump won and come hell or high water, I'm going to make sure he's in office. He can't do that at this point. He is coming under attack like nobody's business. He said, quote, "The decision to rewrite the rules seems to have affected too few ballots to change the outcome of any federal election, but that may not be the case in the future. These cases provide us with an ideal opportunity to address just what authority non-legislative officials have set election rules, and to do so well before the next election cycle. The refusal to do so is inexplicable." Now, why aren't they doing it? Because I think some of them want the rules to be fuzzy. Some of them don't want to get involved. They like their cushy little thing, and they think they're saving themselves from any kind of public outrage if they don't get involved, if they don't overturn things, if they just would leave it alone. But they're wrong. See, the government says that we have a lack of trust. And that's the problem. That the American people have been sold a bill of goods by people like me, and that has caused them to have a lack of trust. And so now there's a bunch of anti-government people. No, we are not anti-government. I'm not an anarchist. The anarchists wear black. They are here and on our streets. They are talking about tearing down the United States government. Now, you are also not protecting and defending the Constitution of the United States. If you are saying this is a racist country, that the whole system needs to be dismantled and replaced with what? You're denying rights under the Bill of Rights. I am for the Bill of Rights. I am not for tearing this government down. I'm actually for your secession, not mine. I'm not leaving. Why would I leave? I've got the Constitution's in the National Archives. It's right there, in front of everybody to see. I agree with every word there. So That's the government I'm fighting for. If you're fighting for that government too, if you believe in those rights, why would either of us leave? That's the government. But you want to silence us because you want to try to make us sound like we're unreasonable. What he just said was completely reasonable. You want to repair trust, this is what you do. You just let it be heard. People who, I found this because of a flaw in me. I was my most pompous when I was the biggest doubter of me. People who have huge egos, sometimes, many times, are the ones who, in the quiet of night and the quiet of their car when their radio is broken and they can't turn it up, are constantly questioning themselves. The people who tell you, I'm the best at this, probably are not. It's the people that are quietly just going up, stepping up to the plate and doing it. They don't have to tell everybody they're the best. When you defend yourself as Jesus did, you're walking with the ultimate knowledge of eternal truth. You're walking with the knowledge of what you really do know. And you don't have to beat everybody up and silence everybody. I don't want to silence anyone. I really don't mind that Antifa is present and talking and being online. I have a problem with their violence. More speech, not less. And anyone who tries to take away the right of the First Amendment under any guise is, by definition, a fascist. If you are banning books, if you are silencing people, if you are cutting them off and isolating them because they don't agree with your political point of view, you, by definition, are an authoritarian. You are a fascist. My way or the highway is fascistic. Now, I want to tell you why this is so important that you follow in Clarence Thomas's shoes. The time to argue if Donald Trump won or not is over. It's over. It doesn't matter at this point because there is no way to redress it. You can't come in now and change things. So it doesn't matter.
Vote for him in 2024 if he runs.
You can vote for him in 2024. You can campaign for him in 2024. You can make sure that it doesn't happen again. And that's what Clarence Thomas is doing. If there was something wrong, then we need to find it and address it. If there was nothing wrong, we should still have a hearing open to the public. Because secrecy and strong-arming only leads to more trouble. But who's the fascist now? Before a hearing set for this Wednesday, tomorrow, Democrats on the Energy and Commerce Committee. Now, Energy and Commerce, what do they have to do with cable news? The Democrats, in a hearing of the Energy and Commerce Committee, asked cable companies what they did to combat the spread of information, disinformation. 3 months ago, federal lawmakers grilled Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook chief executive, Jack Dorsey, Twitter's chief, about the misinformation that had appeared on their platforms. In advance of the Wednesday hearing called Fanning the Flames, Disinformation and Extremism in the Media, members of the House Energy and Commerce Committee sent a letter on Monday to Comcast, AT&T, Spectrum, Dish, Verizon, Cox, Altis, ask them about their role of the spread of dangerous misinformation. The committee members also sent the letter to Roku, Amazon, Apple, Google, and Hulu, digital companies that involve themselves in what's called OTT, over-the-top distribution. That means the Blaze. This is what the letter said. To our knowledge, the cable, satellite, and over-the-top companies that disseminate these media outlets to American viewers have done nothing in response to misinformation aired by these outlets. By the way, the outlets, Newsmax, you have OAN, and Fox News, the cable outlets. Congress can raise the issue of what cable providers bear responsibility for the programs they deliver to millions of Americans. But it may have no way to force them to drop networks that have spread misinformation. And unlike the broadcast world, they don't have control over the cable industry. They don't have control. They're not using the public airwaves. They're using cable. So the FCC has no jurisdiction. The lawmaker's letter asks the company, what steps did you take prior to, on, and following the November 3rd, 2020 elections and January 6, 2021? The attacks to monitor, respond to, and reduce the spread of disinformation. What did you do? Including encouragement or incitement of violence by your channels your company disseminates to millions of Americans. The next question in the House of Un-American Activities asks this: are you planning to continue carrying Fox News, OAN, and Newsmax on your platform both now and beyond the renewal date? If so, why? They are sending a very clear message to these businesses. You either cancel them, you either stop them. Now remember, they're going to Amazon as well. You either completely deplatform these people, or we will come after you. Who is the fascist now?